this is a play all three. So this one is a little different.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you who don't know,
Interesting.
play all three is when you have 3 games, you have to play all of them so that you can get a score allocated. Every single round, you are going to get a different teammate. So with that teammate, you need to make things happen. So let's quickly go on in. And right now on my screen, you will see the game that just finished. But we are going to fix that, or we're going to get the rest of this quickly scrolled through to see how this game went off between the two. Now, I'm trying to flip these guys around, but I think the teams are kind of stepsister stuck. So it is what it is. So,
Okay.
Oasis, talk me through our compositions. What do we have here today?
Okay, so we've got two teams, Beasty and coRe against Gento, aka Gento, and Jiggles.
Jiggles.
Yeah, that's what I've been calling him. Ooh, okay. We've got Beasty here in Japan and coRe on English, which is kind of like a standard one, probably like a knight and archer combo. And on the other side, we got Jiggles on Sengoku and Jento on Ayubeds. So we're gonna see. I do wonder what we're gonna see here, because we see Jiggles started with a tower, and as a pro Sengoku player, tell me what you think about it now.
This is unfortunately a necessity. I don't think Jiggly knew too well about about optimizing this build, but they saw what's cooking. And what's cooking is a barracks. When you're up against someone with a barracks, you most of the time do need a tower here. Otherwise, you are going to get rushed and you're going to get absolutely dominated. But one thing to consider is this is a 2v2 tournament. These guys are going to take about 6 million years to get to your base. So, for a while, he didn't get enough food. I think the TC was idle there for a second. So, this is going to mean that Jiggly Turd put himself in a position where he wasn't constantly producing optimally. And because of that, his yatais are going to be quite slow. So, and you can see, he's going to go try and get shut down.
Yeah, let's see. You can see that Yatai, but they are so tanky in early game. You don't really have enough damage to kill it, so they are quite safe here, I would say, for now. Although this one little barrack has definitely made Jiggly a little bit delayed with his opener, which already is really, really slow.
Exactly.
Sengoku.
And the thing is, Jiggly is playing a Sengoku, so he's going to need that extra time anyway. But the bigger thing to consider here is we have a problem pretty soon for people, and that's going to be a Castle Age Japan. And that's why Beasty opened with this barracks, because with that barracks, he now delayed his opponent significantly, and he gets to go and chase. Now, and guys, welcome to the chat. I do see all of you there, but this is a game that's already over. We're trying to cast and catch up with the live game. But now, this is now something that coRe, with him going here and building a tower, he's putting himself in a spot where he's denying Jiggly from the gold completely. And this is just going to mean that everybody is going to feel so overwhelmed, they're not really going to know what they're supposed to do against Mr. Beasty here, who is going for a fast castle. And we can see he is going pretty fast. He's got 7 on gold and 8 on food. This man is going straight to Castle Age, and there is no slowing down. But while this is happening, you can see Jiggly having 6 on gold. He had to send all of these villagers out here too. He's also going for a fast castle.
Yeah, which makes me think, what does Gento want to do now? Because he can't really help. The only thing he can really do in Feudal is help with healing with dervishes. But this is normally also a fast castle Civ. So I think teaming up on Jiggly has put the whole team of the Dents in a bit of a pickle, I would say.
Yeah, a bit of a pickle, because these boys are gonna need to be snacking real hard. Ooh, but Beasty gets cancelled here. You see Beasty pulling back now, and this TC is gonna have to provide some refuge. But it shows you exactly that Ayubits is still a demon civilization, especially with that dervish healing. You can see these camels being very optimistic running in, but this one will be paying the price.
Yep, definitely good snipe here from Beasty. He was aging a little bit greedy and had to go back and just do the safe one. But you know, it's better to do that than lose a lot of villagers.
Yeah, luckily Beasty, he is sometimes a greedy boy, but he knows when to pull back, and that's exactly the right time here. But now, you can also see, it's not just Beasty aging up. coRe is actually joining that same mindset. And Gento, with his now one Desert Raider that he has, he's trying to slow things down as well, as he's also trying to hit that fast castle. And that's the issue here. Everyone's going fast castle, but the problem is we only have one civilization here that actually produces mounted samurai at the speed of light.
Yes, and that's Beasty. And I do wonder who is he going to pick as his victim. Are they gonna keep pressuring Jiggly, or will they move to Gento? Obviously, Gento being Ayubit's, his age will probably be the slowest due to the House of Wisdom upgrades. So I would say that this is a quite good of a target for Beasty. Once he starts that spam of samurais, these dervishes, they won't really be helpful at all.
Give me 1 second. I got told to minimize the thing. I didn't know you could minimize the thing. Thank you very much, Tommy. So, we do see here with that castle age hitting for both of them, this is going to be a slow start initially, especially with coRe not going for a production building, but rather going for the greedy goose build. The one where you just make villages and get there for the late game. Beasty, on the other hand, though, we do see that first mounted samurai, and we'll check where this man is going to be landing. Uma Bannerman right there to support this charge. Oh, that is actually just, yeah. It's going to be a distraction.
Okay. Yeah, he has noticed a forward berry as well from Gento. And now I think this will be just a relic game now, but Beasty, just with the pressure he put on, he can just easily snack on those relics. I don't think Jigu and Gento have that much to say at the moment in here.
Yeah, both of them being a little bit behind makes sure that they are going to be the ones that need to react. And the problem is when both players are on the same gold, this is also going to run out pretty quickly. Gento is now slowly aging up. He's going for that sweet industry, wanting to get a few production buildings alongside it. Or maybe just getting that wood to be able to make some siege for the onslaught that is about to land. Now, Beasty hasn't made his attack yet. And I mean, this is pretty understandable when you're playing against the Camel Civilization. But it does give a little bit of time for Mr. Gento to age up himself.
Yeah, that's slowed down a little bit, but now we can see engage from Beasty. He's bringing more samurais. We got 4 and a bannerman, which that will be significant to take down this whole army. So Gento needs to be really careful not to lose this precious dervish. Also, the Desert Raiders, they are quite costly for what they are, so you ideally don't want to lose them. They're still in feudal, not upgraded as well, so he's just making the run for it now. And will Beasty follow? Looks like he's playing it on a bit of a safer side at the moment. He's backing off.
So
Should he though?
Yes, because this is one of those instances where you want to get your mass up and running. Your mounted samurais, they're probably going to handle the camels pretty easily, but you do need to have enough of them. But just like that, we see a man with 4 stables, and usually if a pro player is building 4 stables, it's because they're planning on using 4 stables. So 4 stables on the ground just tells me we are going to be seeing a lot more camels. But the mounted samurai on the other side is also starting to increase in numbers, and we'll see if they are going to be able to land some attacks. They do. But at the same time, these are not like the Japanese ones. They do not have that shield, so every single shot they take is a shot that lasts.
Yes, definitely. So as you play a lot of Sengoku, what is the difference? Do they get a more kind of attack instead of the shield?
That's a good question. See, now Mirai says you need to understand there's a difference. Ooh, disgusting though. Beasty just picking up a few victims along the way. It's the thing about mounted samurai for them is the fact that we are You can see here they've got a little bit of extra HP, but I believe that's just because of the Daimo that's here with them. But what you need to keep in mind with these guys is they run faster when you get the upgrade. So we do see 179 movement speed compared to the 162. And that movement speed, massive one. So with that movement speed, you are supposed to offset any of that shield advantage because you will be able to kite in and out. Now Jigglypuff is running for his life with his villagers, but he's still the one with more horses. So this is not a fight that Beasty wants to take just yet, but it looks like there's another fight on the way to Beasty's base, and it's a fight full of camels and horses.
And not that much on Beasty's side to defend this. I think Gento wanted to initially cut the reinforcements out, but he has also found some villagers which were coming out to the middle of the map for some food. So I'm not sure if he actually killed something, but it's definitely put Beasty back into his place.
We can see here with coRe being the one with a ton of villagers, this is actually helping them quite a bit to get ahead.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have a counter where we can actually see where people are losing or how much they're losing, but you can compare the civilizations with one another. And if you see Gento being only 50 compared to Beasty's 52, you know something went wrong along the way. Jigglypuff also not really seeing all the value in making sure all of these are populated.
He's too busy. It's also quite interesting to see here. Looks like Beasty and coRe, they must have been playing recently a bit more because they seem to have good synergy, you know? Beasty is just going cavalry, and then compared to coRe going pure crossbow and spear. Once they join that army, this will be a really big issue for Jiggles and Gento for sure.
Yeah, with that eco offset just from that second TC, it's quickly going to scale up pretty well for them. We have a Wololo being shouted up in the skies, but no victims today.
One, but no. All good, all good.
Now, with that,
he did think about it.
He did, but Beasty is a Wololo man. He'll just Wololo into the skies to ensure people back off. But you can see here the camels are making a pretty massive difference. The problem is just the supply. In StarCraft, we used to say, the supply does not lie. And the supply is telling us a story of a very healthy army and a man who cannot spend his resources because he just cannot keep up here. Gento is continually making camels, but coRe's army, apparently 17 mounted samurai. It just doesn't feel like all of those mounted samurai are able to land. Oh, coRe. Jigglypuff. Having that many mounted samurai, it just doesn't feel like they're landing the attacks they need.
No, definitely not. I think the longer the game goes now, unless Jiggly and Gento can do some sneaky attacks, some significant eco damage, this is just slowly but surely going towards Beasty and coRe. Look at that army. coRe is just... He hasn't been that present for most of the game, but he was busy, you know? He wasn't just messing around. He was busy clicking his farm, building his villagers, and now with this huge army, he finally left his nest and is ready. He's just ready to conquer both of them.
And with that heavy amount of army, he should be okay with this, but it does look like the camels get on top of the crossbows. He needs to guide backwards. The spears get a little bit stepsister stuck, and his ally is nowhere to be seen. But with this front line, he should be able to get a decent amount of kills. And at the same time,
this looks really good.
Beasty has some other plans, though. Yeah,
coRe is just diving Gento's base. Meanwhile, coRe is distracting him. He is losing a lot of army, but look at this. It's not going as bad as we thought. Like, these spears and crossbows are holding. Look how many dead knights and camels there is. He basically fought it to 1 versus 2 while Beasty doing this amazing work here with eco damage. Very good.
Yeah, so coRe not having to invest into any army early on meant that he could just be booming. And it definitely paid off. So now Gento and Jigglypuff are in a little bit of a stuck position here, trying to survive with the army just constantly pumping out. We now see those mounted samurais actually making a difference and a dent in this fellow dense base. Now, you can see coRe, he's ready to clean up, just going straight for the mats. Both of them having more than enough action. and going to the next game.
Very good. Very nice recap for this first game. Is this, can you remind me, is it BO5 or?
This is a play all three. So this one is a little different.
Oh, okay.
So for those of you who don't know,
Interesting.
play all three is when you have 3 games, you have to play all of them so that you can get a score allocated. Every single round, you are going to get a different teammate. So with that teammate, you need to make things happen. So I guess my question to you would be, who are the dents and who are the gents in this case? Because I've assigned the names dents and gents. Are we going to call dentos the dents? Or are we calling...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a fair name.
Okay.
Especially that they lost the first game.
All right. Now, let's go see our next one. We are going to try to catch up with the live game pretty soon. So we do want to make sure that you guys do have the ability to click through each of these. So give me 1 second. I do need to switch the scenes so that we can take a closer look. So our second map is going to be Gorge. And now for all of these, what's very important to note is every single one of these series have the same maps. So we're starting it off with Gorge here on the second map after our little bit of Dry Arabia. And our final map will be Mega Random. So this does feel pretty good for people like a good old HRE style. Or in this case, coRe just getting his Arcane Chapel. He's going to have a pretty lovely time with all of that.
Definitely. I have seen coRe recently practicing a lot of OTD games. He really believes in the Civ. He wants to make OTD great again. And this time with Beasty as Ayubits as his ally. Can they do it? I do wonder. I think the enemy team will be quite aggressive with JD. You want to make a lot of fights in Feudal. Japan can also do all sorts. They can fight in Feudal. It's not that bad. Or just go fast castle pretty quickly. Oh my god.
And I just realized the real answer to this type of tournament is we need one of the allies to go for dervishes and the other one just makes knights, because these things are never going to die either. But no. JD, you can see Jiggly, he knows this is the place he needs to be and he needs to do damage. Now, you can see Beasty's villagers as well. They're just running for their damn lives. These guys are not going to be able to go out on the map and get what they need, but they're going to have enough to be able to age up. And Beasty is already on the way to castle. But so is Mr. Gento and the coRe as well. So a lot of castle ages happening.
Yeah, are we back in the fast castle meta? What's going on? After so much feudal fights on 1v1s, maybe it's either 2v2 is that different, or are we seeing a little bit of a shift in meta? What do you think?
With Gento and Jiglypuff in the same team, Isis, we need to be very careful of calling this the meta. Because they might just be playing with all 5 brain cells and rubbing together. And that's exactly what he needs to be careful of. But you see, that's the problem. When you go fast castle, very often things like this can happen. Yes.
Yeah. And what happened with the dervish? Are they collecting relics or did they die?
Now, these guys, they're thinking about the relics. That's the problem. Because now Beasty has to wait for that age up. And it's about to hit. But he had no military ready.
Yeah, he has got the eco-ignite, so he is getting some villagers back. But it has definitely slowed him down a little bit from what he could have had.
Now,
and we can see that coRe is just starting with the crossbows, which for OTD are absolutely juicy. So if he can keep them alive, these knights will not be that scary in a moment.
See, that's the great thing about having an Ayubits as your friend. You get some very chunky, cheap units to be frontlined with, usually. But now you also have to consider he could just get a bunch of camel lancers. These crossbows, they hit like trucks. And especially when you consider that most of your composition consists of knights for now. And mounted samurais as a follow-up. So these should do a pretty good job at taking down most of these knights if they decide to collapse on them.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely not going good for Jiggly at the moment. He wanted some feudal fights ideally. He wants to level up this JD, and he has not been very successful. I don't think she's got anything apart from what she gets. Okay, she's got a scout now, but not that much. And the crossbows actually also deal with JD pretty well. So the composition here, unless they can go in and kill all of these crossbows, but can they? There's luckily a Camel Lancer here tanking for coRe, but they are deciding. Gento and Jiggly, can they force their way in?
And they are forcing their way, but they're also paying a pretty big price here. You can see with the knights from Jiggly, they are falling like flies, and him not being in a position to age up just yet. This is going to be a very slow continuation, but at the same time, a lot of dead villagers all around. This does look pretty scary with those mounted samurais just not going down. Crossbows one by one getting picked off as well, but there's still that one staying alive, hoping for better days. Mounted samurais, they know they're gonna die, but they're gonna try to make it worth it. Gento, he's able to keep these numbers up, but the question is he gonna keep up this pressure, or does he want to make another group and then go for it again?
Yeah, this is what they need to think of, because it looks like Jiggly finally is aiming towards castle. But what is that? What happened with the Beasty villagers? They were very out of position trying to build the wall, and Gento found the perfect angle here to catch them. And unfortunately, this is quite a lot of damage. I did see some of the coRe ones dying as well, and they are even more precious than normal villagers. So as much as Beasty and coRe were in a good position, Gento and Jiggly have used their little windows here as much as they could to stop them from snowballing so much.
Yeah, we can see Beasty is really struggling with these units, trying to get a camel out every now and again to just snipe out any grain of damage. But the problem is just the damage is constant. And now with this dervish going down, this is going to be harder and harder. Now, this is the answer, Oasis. You asked, is this the new meta? No, you do not go for fast castle for both, because that just means you have no units. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Both of these guys kind of struggling for units, and Gento and Jiggly just looking like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, they're working really well together. It's so hard to say both Jiggly and Gento at the same time, right? It keeps messing with you. But yeah, it looks like Beasty and coRe just can't produce enough army. They can't make up the mass to be able to push away all these knights. So they really need to think of a different way of how they want to survive this game.
The thing is, there should be quite a few relics, and we see yet another one. Beasty going to deliver that for his one and only teammate.
That's too nice. Too nice.
This feels good for coRe to have so many, but the thing is, at the same time, it's only 4 relics. So it's not like he is in a position where he's going to get an insurmountable amount of gold, and Beasty is just sacrificing his own little villagers one by one. Every moment he steps out of his base, another one dies.
Yeah, this is what happens against double Knight Sif, I guess. This is one of the strong points. We got a generous donation here to Beasty to make sure he is alive for a little bit longer. It will be hard because the resources, they will only have gold at some point. They will be struggling with food, and we can see that they're starting on farms already. Some more resources being sent.
Beasty is just the guy who is targeted here because he's at the front. That's the beauty of playing against Aeobids or Abbasid when you are in a situation like this. But Beasty is going to age up. And guys, this could be the play. Now, the reason this is such a big play here is because with him going military wing, he's going to get 7 Desert Raiders every 2 minutes. And this is not something we usually see in Imperial Age, but also you don't see Imperial Age at 15 minutes. I think this is a desperation play.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's either this or nothing works. So there's a big here, a big raid coming from Jiggly, luckily defended by coRe. It just feels like Beasty's villagers are very vulnerable at the moment. They can't leave base. They even can't be safe in their base, let's be honest. And will their reinforcement be able to hold it? Look at that. They don't seem to have any front line. It's just the crossbows, and they are being picked up one by one.
JD,
JD.
she's luckily getting focused here, and I feel like this is the saving grace for Beasty and coRe. They might be down in villagers. They might be down in most things, but the crossbows are doing a good job at cleaning this up, and JD is not getting a single grain of experience. So that micro there with the TC, coRe just hopping in and out, trying to snipe as much as he can without the knights taking down all of them. But Beasty.
Hey, he's clearing it up, to be fair.
Uh-huh.
Fair play to him with Beasty. Beasty only really had a dervish there to keep them alive. But they really are doing well considering the circumstances.
Well,
and now with Imperial.
You say well, but Meoisis, you have to keep in mind how many villages coRe has left.
Oh my god!
He's got 11 left. And they have 7, they've got 7 Desert Raiders. That's all they've got in this firing range. And they need a lot more. Mm-hmm.
They might only have 11 villagers and 7 Desert Raiders, but they also have a dream. And they are not giving up on it. They believe, you know? They believe that they can still take the dens down. But what the cost is for that, this is what I'm asking.
Now, the thing is, Jiggly doesn't mind staying in castle, and this is, I think, gonna be I say that, but for now, I was about to say, for a second there, it looked like Jiggly was going to Imperial. He went for the Royal Institute. So him now finally going for a little bit of cantled saddles means that he's gonna not mind charging in and taking out what needs to be taken out and getting back out unscathed. Beasty, on the other hand, this man, he's still got a few villagers. coRe is mostly cooked. And you can see he's trying to rebuild these towers to just get some semblance of a safe place to hide for his villagers. But it feels like the army that is waiting for him is a little bit too large to be, you know, scared off by a few towers. Ooh.
Yeah, it does kind of seem that this game is one more dive away from being over for Beasty and coRe. But let's see, maybe they can cook. There's another delivery of Desert Raiders. They're not upgraded to Imperial yet. I don't believe he can afford it. He cannot. Well, he can now, but does he have enough time?
This is a massive difference. Oh no, but as we can see, the knights are engaging here. The problem is, like you said, Beasty should have been able to afford these, but instead decided to produce a few more. All his camels still being... Wait, are these camels in feudal? No, they can't be. No, they're veteran. They're veteran.
Yeah. But just as we saw, JD has just leveled up to 3, so this is about to get harder for Beasty and coRe. I don't know how they can get away with this.
Now, you can see that coRe realizes, hey, my tower was destroyed, let me just rebuild and try to stay on top of this. But these are getting picked off significantly, and Beasty is not able to keep, the villagers alive for much longer. We can see the cantled saddles actually doing work as they are charging in and taking care of most of the HP of these vills. The camels don't want to be taking this fight too easily either, so they do pull back and try to fend off the horsemen, but there are so many of them. The horseman switch being so cheap, and Beasty and coRe, honestly, in shambles.
Definitely. Yes, one of the viewers has quoted the favorite and famous sentence. This is a distraction. This is a distraction.
Yeah. No. Honestly, Gento and Jiggly just making miracles happen here. As they were the underdogs for this battle, but they made it look like it's more than a dream. It is a possibility. Now, Meoisis, this does mean that our next map is going to be Mega Random. And Mega Random can be a lot of surprises, but what we can see now is that Beasty and coRe are not invincible. Now, I'm going to call them something else. I'm going to call them Beasor?
Ooh, okay, we're combining the names now. It always works good.
Yeah, and then Jiggly... Wait, no, I was about to say Jiggler. Gently. There we go.
No, there we go.
Going for this one. Hail to the year. Okay. Now we can see the boys are drafting. and we'll be able to scroll through the streams to see how each of them are doing and if this is going well or not. I want to see if they're yapping at each other.
Oh, but what?
Hello?
While still being
Do I go
muted.
KT?
Oh.
Can you play HRE?
I can play HRE, yeah.
Okay.
coRe just unmuted
I'm
Beasty. I can
massive.
see in the admin channel.
Yeah, I'm just finishing this song here. It's called The Sound of Silence. You should probably listen to it.
No,
now.
listen, hold on.
There's some tension there. I can feel it. It's not good for the team Morales.
Byzantine. The fuck do I veto here?
Yeah, but Kate,
Snipe what you want. I don't care.
Wait, what do I say?
Don't think we will get a full water map.
Let's see what Jiggly's team is saying.
So ban China, I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah,
If you want to ban
yeah.
it.
Let's ban China. Yeah, HRE is not that very good either.
Okay.
Let's see what they
Ooh,
choose.
getting rid of
Okay,
China,
French.
just
Okay.
like that.
I
And
thought
getting
so.
rid of
Macedonia
French on the
does.
other side.
Okay.
Okay, they left Macedonians in there.
Mm, that's pretty brave.
Macedonians, yeah, have been a little bit of a dark horse
Did I
recently.
do random location? Yeah, random location.
Yes.
We might be really far from each other, so this could either go really well or really bad.
To battle!
Good luck. Yes. Good
Have
luck.
fun.
I mean, if we
Have
far away,
fun.
just kill one of them.
Yeah. We just have to gang up on one. Yeah.
Oh, they have a good game plan. They're doing pretty
Okay,
well here.
They have a plan.
Let's
There's
listen.
communication.
Let's see if Beastie is still
Compared to-
molding.
Let's go, coRe! Let's go, goat!
Perfect timing.
Jiggly's on Byzantine. He literally doesn't know how to play feudal. He's gonna castle rush.
Of course, it's gonna Castle Rush.
What a loser, dude.
The-
Yo,
If
there-
One of
water,
the
I
teams
just
is gonna
go
be
fight
surprised.
dogs and
Mhm.
go Burgrave. I hope we spawn together at least.
Okay.
So now the question is going to be, where do the boys spawn? And that's what we are about to go see as we're loading in. So, ladies and gents, let's quickly, and now I see my beautiful overlay just looking great with me and all my skills. Let's hop in game, ladies and gents, and see what is our spawn like for all the boys. Because from what I see, this doesn't look like the craziest mega random we could find. Beastie and coRe, pretty close to one another here.
Yeah, they definitely got lucky on this spawn, considering Gento and Jiggly are like almost a whole map away. Now, if Beastie and coRe realize that Gento is so close to them and so far away from his teammate, I think he's gonna have a very difficult time there. What do you think, Whamen?
Mm-hmm. Gento, luckily for him, he's playing a civilization that's actually decent enough at defending. The problem is just, if I look at his map, he's going to have to go straight on this wood line when his opponent is a very greedy boy. I was going to say a very aggressive civilization usually when you get to a position where your archers are going to matter. And we've seen coRe with units. They are pretty damn good. So, especially when coRe is aggressive enough and he gets given the time, we just need to see that aggression from him. But Gento knows the jig is up, and he knows exactly where coRe is getting his resources from. Beastie, though, he's got a pretty okay spawn, far away from everyone. There's a little bit of a hill here, but let's take a quick look at the rest of this map's layout, my oasis.
Yes, I think Jiggly might have a little bit of a problem with gold. All of his goats are at the front. There's nothing at the back. If they put some pressure here, he might be struggling. There's also no food really near his base or behind it. Definitely the RNG gods have not blessed him today.
So, Jiggly's biggest concern for me here is the fact that there's a nice little path to sneak into the base. They can slide into your DMs pretty easily here. I mean, the problem is not Jiggly here. The problem is the fact that Gento is all the way in the base, in the face of Beastie and coRe. Now, coRe having access to the deer means that his age up is going to be relatively decent. I feel like the problem that comes in for Gento here is Gento is going to be forced to make magic happen. And honestly, with his villagers standing idly thinking about hunting or not, this does not bode too well for him. They are going to be chopping, and then I guess the age up begins.
Yes, it might be just... obviously, they had a plan. We did hear it. But due to the location of players. It might not be as easy as they thought they would be able to make it.
So what I would like to do for a second is I would like us to tune in and just enjoy the mold on Beasty's stream. Let's go give it a shot.
Let's go.
Or are they...
Yo, no fucking... I cannot believe that we didn't get water. That's such a scam.
Tournament already being called a scam by Beasty. Just like that, he wanted a little bit of... What? He's not happy getting the best sport. He wants some water as well.
Yeah, wait until he realizes how Gento and Jiggly spawn and he'll be more thankful, for sure.
No, crazily enough, they did scout. They know exactly about Gento's spawn.
Okay.
They do. They know what's cooking. What's pretty crazy is we finally get to see a situation where both Byzantines and the Macedonian dynasty are standing strong against one and all together to see if they are the ultimate, you know, what is this called? A civilization. Base plus variant.
Yeah, Beasty and coRe really underperforming here. They should have made like a OTD and HRE.
Exactly. Or like a French and a... What is this? KT?
Yes, KT.
But we are getting a mine work. So this is going to... Ooh, I was going to say this is going to mean some aggression. But no, this might actually mean a burger. Yeah, Aces. This looks like a burger.
Oh, that's exciting. I do like to see a good burger
Oh,
sometimes.
sometimes you just feel a little bit more hungry and you know what's good for you. And this is exactly what he needs. Because with him going for the burger, they have a man who's way too far forward. And a little bit of a flood of men-at-arms could get this to be a very fun encounter.
Yeah, definitely. I do wonder what Beasty is planning to do as well, as obviously KT has a lot of different options. Okay, we're going on a safer, but Jiggly does see it. We got a second TC coming from Beasty, so they didn't decide on going just all in into Gento. Just interesting. Jiggly's,
The thing is, they are Mioaces. They really are. They're just deciding it one at a time. Because you don't need to overinvest. HRE,
that's true.
they are about to delete him. There's nothing the man can do when the men-at-arms arrive. He doesn't need Beasty's help, but what he does need is a teammate that can scale well into late game. And that's what I'm expecting from these guys. Opening with a barracks here for Beasty, though. It's time for him to make some units.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Will that expect it? Will he defend? Will he build some? We got a tower now as well, but will he have enough army to defend what's coming for him? I do wonder.
Now, coRe is got enough resources to start that age up the moment it hits. He's going for a tower himself here on the gold.
He is ready.
The reason we do this, by the way, is because he knows that his opponent is going to get these free cavalry units. So he does need to find a way to survive that initially. But now, with the villagers all inspired here around the food, they are going to drop off and start building pretty soon. The reason...
You think burger? Okay, let's see. Yes! It's coming. It's coming with a home delivery straight to Gento's base.
And what's very important here is that coRe didn't get enough wood to get all the upgrades he would need. Unless he gets these villagers to start chopping here too. Because, of course, you want to get your ranged armor to not lose your men-at-arms. But I guess it depends on what you're going for, right? In his case, we see he's floating gold. It's not going to be a situation where he needs to think about... making spears. Oh, he says he might need one or two, especially knowing that there's a Radari on his way too. But Beasty, behind this, he's just making spears and starting to put a little bit of presence out here on the map. Oh,
what? The scout was working on it for the whole time?
disgusting.
That's so annoying. Like, you can almost never pull it off, but if you can, it's like so annoying. The same with like a little house pen or something. Messes you up completely.
Now,
and there's no tower there as well, so this might be a good target.
So, ooh, he's trying to rush this up. He's going the gold build, Oasis. We haven't seen the Gulper in a while, but
Oh
the
my
Spearman
god.
being a little bit annoying. Villagers should be able to take good care of him, and they get their shivs out party hard, but not for long. Spearman on 1 HP. And now we still have our Burgrave done. And this bad boy, Man-at-Arms, instantly +1 range
knows.
defense, getting the upgrade, and going to probably get that second one pretty soon as well. And now the fun begins. And this is why Jigglypuff was so desperate of getting this age up, because the Golden Horn Tower is going to provide him that protection he needs to survive against these Men-at-Arms, because it is a little bit special. It provides you with non-stop crossbow hits, and that's exactly what you need when there are Men-at-Arms rushing towards your base.
Yeah, this is actually perfect counter. So I wonder if coRe is gonna realize that soon enough and maybe change the target to Jiggly. Jiggly is much more prone to this, but so far away. I do wonder.
With the Men-at-Arms attack, oh my goodness, they are
Ooh,
doing
they're going for it.
damage. They get a villager, but at the cost of
Ooh, okay.
nothing.
This is perfect execution, especially against this tower. Very well done by coRe here. And maybe let's see what Beasty is cooking at the same time. Is he... He's just booming, right?
He's
got nothing to
booming.
worry about.
He's making spears every now and again. He's making a little bit of defense when he needs it. But we see that coRe isn't ready to back off from this. He wants to put that pressure here so the Gento cannot move out of his base, even when he does start getting some units. But these, they are paying a pretty heavy price. Now, these javelin throwers are not going to be the ones that can handle a chunky Men-at-Arms.
Definitely not, but we can see the first Cataphrag coming out here. And Cataphrag, with the help of Redaris from Gento, are a good answer to this burger. And I don't think Beasty and coRe at the moment have a good answer to this. So they need to do some damage quickly and possibly then change their plans because continuing Men-at-Arms, I don't think this is gonna work.
This was a perfect response by Gento, which just allowed him to now... The traits are good. They're in a really, really good spot. But you have to consider Beasty is still on 2 TC. This man, he's booming. He's having a great time while doing it. And unfortunately, this just means that coRe needs to take that initial sacrifice and take a little bit of a beating here with now only having that burger. So he can change this and just go straight into spears, and that's exactly what he does. Gets a few spears here in the mix because he knows there are Redaari coming. And when you know about Redaari, you wall up. He's learned enough lessons.
Definitely. Redaris at the moment are like ticking time bomb. They need to be stopped as soon as possible. At some point, I feel like you just can't contest it. It's just so strong with all the silver upgrades.
So the problem with the Redaari is because they come out for free. So you can see here, it's toggled here on Redaari production. So what Gento theoretically could be doing is he could just make cheap units and pop out a free Redaari for that. So when he does run out of gold at some point, it's not going to be a problem because the Redaari is going to be produced non-stop as much as he wants, as long as he keeps sacrificing some units.
Yeah, definitely. Good thinking here. He has got a few of them on the field already, combined with the crossbows coming from the tower. He's no longer as defenseless as he was at the start, and there's literally only spears coming from Beasty and Gento in the coRe, sorry. So I wonder, they would need to start making some other units ASAP, really.
Now, at the moment, because their opponents are only going for cavalry, this does still feel like an okay response, but we know that cavalry has a pretty good chance of just completely overwhelming. So,
Yeah.
this is now the mobility that Gento and Jigglypuff's composition offers. The problem is just they cannot get into the base. coRe, though, he's struggling a little bit for food here. He's struggling with a lot of different resources because he also doesn't have the Archon. These are not inspired, and it doesn't look like he's making any efforts to do so.
Yeah, does look like it. There's lots of prelates, I don't know if you realize, but they are just dying from coRe, so it's also a bit of an investment. So really they need to think of what they want to do next, really. If they actually have a look, like you just pointed, Jiggly's base is pretty unprotected, so if they actually had some cavalry, they could definitely do some damage here, but because of the spears they have, like you said, they are okay against the cavalry, but it's also just the mobility which is lacking at the moment from Beasty and coRe right now.
And you can see coRe is a man with villagers running around the map, and it doesn't even look like they... Yeah, now he's getting wheelbarrow. So coRe has traveled very far distances just to run around with those slow villagers to try and get something done. But unfortunately for them, it just doesn't feel like it's as efficient as they need it to be, especially with this impending problem of mass cavalry. Now again, they're still just making spears, which should be fine for this, but at some point these Rodari are just going to start replacing themselves. So for a quick second, let's see what the boys are feeling like right now. I'm going to put those voices in right now. Yeah, Beasty
Very focused.
very much clicking.
There's no time for
I
chat.
can move out in like a minute to get a fortress. And you can go get this food, but it's kind of far away. Oh, well, you can go with these villagers, I guess.
Guys, so he recognizes that coRe is a little bit low on food and they want to get that extra minute. Let's see what Jiggly and them are deciding.
We might have a low
Spears
connection
and
here.
crossbows only.
They know about the spear-only composition. Let's see what he says next. Jiggly, completely focused. Absolutely keeping it inside. But they recognize the problem with the spears. They need to find a way to actually get through them. It still looks like they are trusting in good old spears, but now a little bit of versatility here from Gento. The problem is, the moment these guys start coming out, they are going to be in for a surprise, because there was a little bit of a switch here. We do see a few crossbows on the side of Beasty.
Yeah, definitely. This is a really good composition, actually. If you can master this, spear crossbow is so solid. It's really hard to touch that once there is the mass there. So they really need to think. I do wonder if they, at what point they'll realize this.
So-
and what will be their next answer.
It looks like the composition was hidden for most of the time, with Beasty only joining the fight now. And this makes a lot of sense. You don't want to give your opponent that breathing room the moment they understand exactly what you're going for. It gives them an opportunity to really, really respond. Now, I do see the response is already incessant. Gento is investing quite a bit here, but the fort now coming in, we see the villagers getting a little bit blocked here by coRe's spears. But the full army being here is quite dangerous. Now, with the spears, it does look like there's about to be a connection here, and these guys are laser focused. Archers now going straight for the spears, get to pick off one, and oof, so many more taking quite a bit of damage here. But at the same time, now a fortress, very far forward, which means that this is going to be a much easier push.
Yes, and you can see that Beasty's boom is now also paying off with the amount of villagers he was able to produce. We got great advantage. The army numbers are also speaking for themselves. We got almost double the army. So this is slowly looking like the game #1 again. So looks like the key to beat Beasty and coRe is just going all in 8 mode, maybe.
Catch them off guard while they're being greedy, and that's something that both Gento and Jiggly were not able to do here, just because of that early presence on the maps that we saw. But now Beasty, with all of this, he's got a pretty solid composition. He does need to be careful though. Still, their armies are very, very immobile. You can see here is adding in a few men-at-arms, both of them adding in men-at-arms now, because they know that the switch into archers is going to be prominent, but they are in for a surprise, as there is a ton of crossbows in this composition too. coRe he knows about these villagers out here on foot, and he's trying to do a little bit of eco damage, because with this, they're probably feeling like, hey, we should have landed something by now, but the immobility of these compositions just did not allow for it. Now, a few of these spears, again, getting picked off, and the big question is, ooh, is that next keep coming? Yeah, the keep's
Another
definitely coming
keep.
up. Another keep!
Let's have a quick look at the sacred sites. Is there some possibilities to work on that? Got one here which is secured already. This one is a bit far for Beasty and coRe to defend, so I don't think they can do that much over there. But it's just good to secure one in the middle to have like a safe spot for your army to come back to, and also to secure it for the pilgrims. And
Now-
Gento and Jiggly do not like that. as
Yeah,
you can
they
see.
are very quickly making responsive units here to try, and I see we do have a personality switch here, so I reckon I will give you this next piece in an eagle voice. Oh my god, he has a trebuchet. It's so big. He's doing a really good job at that, just hammering down, but the problem is the army is strong and just as big, but Jiggly, he is ready to defend that teammate. That's it. Done. Can't do
Oh, that
more.
was good.
I will definitely
good.
die on the inside if I keep doing that.
You should do a full cast of Persona one day and see how much it damages your brain. We got a connection here with Cataphracts going right in the middle of Beasty's army, and look at that! The advantage! The army's just going down! Oh my god!
It looked like those cataphracts were doing a pretty good job, and surely they did a lot of casualties, but coRe is now going to be the one that needs to find a way to destroy this. The problem is just his army is not anywhere close. Where is his army? Oh, he's got a few
Yeah,
horsemen.
where was he? Oh my god, can you imagine how angry Beasty must be right now?
Yes.
His whole army just got deleted by Cataphracts and coRe was nowhere to be seen. Can we hear that?
Yes, let's quickly get her. Hold on. I just hear
Mine are
clicking.
doing
Beasty.
aggressive clicking.
Very aggressive.
Second TC for Jiggly.
Alright, you can lock that.
Oh.
Okay.
It looks like Beastie is pretty calm about this one, unfortunately.
They have high hopes for this game still, which is good to hear after the a bit of issues we had in game number 2. Fucking love that.
He lost his army, still got a smile on his face, but he knows I've got 2 TC. I can just rebuild and remake. With all of these extra spears now, he knows exactly what he's up against. The horsemen instantly go and snipe out anything that may cause them more trouble.
good.
But there's another trebuchet waiting.
There's another trebuchet, but on the other side we do have a build-up of mangonels. It's only 2, but if you are someone like Beasty, you can actually do a lot with them. I don't know about you, but if I make them, they just die straight away or don't hit anything. But if you got the insane APM and the micro, they can be really dangerous, even in castle.
Now, they are trying to find a little bit of damage elsewhere. And you can see this just by knowing that, hey, they're trying to get a spearman in here or there, usually with 1 spear. They're not really trying to raid, they're trying to distract. So it's a very small investment to lose. Now with the horsemen, that's where the real damage starts. That spear is supposed to be there to drag the army, to try and get a little bit of idle time. But the horses, those are the things that are actually here to do the damage. But now with this, we can just see a significant presence here in the middle. And this time, coRe is in position. He's not going to let Beastie fight this thing alone again.
No, definitely not. I don't think coRe would be safe if he let that happen again. I think Beasty might have turned against him if that happens. So he's make sure he sticks to his friend's army. This is a very important place, the middle of the map. Meanwhile, the little raid here from coRe is doing a lot of damage. Actually, is making a lot of Jiggles' army chase him. So definitely puts some pressure away from the middle.
Exactly. And he's getting a few villager kills as this goes on. We can see now he possibly could have picked up another villager, but that would mean the army would stop chasing him. Now, with that wall, it looks like Gento is going to be able to keep these guys safe for now. And you can see, taking them straight back to the Golden Horn Tower, they know what's important. But there's one thing that's pretty good, and that is a KT trebuchet throwing those fire arrows all around, and the mango's getting an okay hit pretty
And they
quickly.
are through as well with the wall, so Gento is not safe at all here, and Jiggles is not really there yet to help him. We can see the green army moving slowly now. The Beasty needs to be careful because his siege is under the radar. Can he defend it? He
Now,
knows, he knows.
With cataphracts, you usually struggle, but not if you kill your opponent's army and all their archers with just 2 mangonels. These mangonels have gotten their value over and over again, and it doesn't look like Gento was emotionally prepared to micro any of his units against this. And as this is happening, that one horseman that was left is still running around raiding, feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, we got a couple of villages there from coRe moved in the middle of the map. I'm not sure if it was a mistake or if there's a possible of a keep or tower job. But also we can see that Jiggly actually has 3 TCs now, so he is slowly catching up economically. So as much as I think they just try to play this for as long as possible and try to catch up now to Beasty and coRe because they cannot fight right now.
The problem for them is the late game in all of this. Macedonians does really well in late game, but this is starting to get to a point where they are struggling. And now we see Jiglypuff going for Imperial. Now, you can go for Imperial. That's perfectly fine. But the problem is you just invested a lot of resources, 3,600, into aging up when your opponents are at the front of your base. This can very easily cost someone the game.
Yes. Yeah, I think once they either realize he's aging or click that very distinct noise, I think they are just gonna send it into Dento's base and he's not gonna be happy about it.
Now we do see a little bit of the counter raiding coming through, but coRe is everywhere. And he sees that other TC too. So now he knows, okay, this is a constant boom. But the trebuchets are doing work here at the front. There are attacks at every corner of the map. And just like that, horsemen, they might get a bit of damage here at the back. And you have to ask yourself, is Gento in a position to actually replace this? He's only got 25 on wood, and a lot of villagers are idle right now. So these horsemen may pick up a lot of things, but the problem is now just, does he die because of this? Because now Jiggly has aged up, but what is his first response? He's trying to make camels. And that's it. Let's quickly see if there are any upgrades in queue. He goes straight for the horseman upgrade. Wait,
I don't know.
to veteran.
I'm not sure about this one, but maybe he knows something we don't, you know? We never
Elite
know.
cataphracts.
Yeah, I guess this is it. If you can make up that number, have enough cataphracts in charge, and do the same what he did to Beasty's armies earlier, maybe that is their chance. But slowly, look at Beasty, and he's just using his siege now and slowly making a dent into Dento's base. And nothing really can stop them at the moment.
The Golden Horde Tower is also something that won't be producing for too much longer, and that's the issue here. We can see Gento does not have a lot of crossbows. These guys come out in groups of 3, I believe. And with that, it just means that he's constantly going to have that reinforcement, but with this going down, he's going to need to spend resources. He does have the gold for this, though, and it feels kind of weird to see this much gold on Gento. Jiggly needs to be here, and he needs to get here now. The landmark has gone down, and it looks like this is going to be a pretty massive fight between the mangonels. Getting decent shots. Our villagers are pulled to repair.
A charge! Charge from cataphracts here from Jiggly. But look at the siege. How does he do this? How is the siege still alive? They literally charged on it. Oh my god.
With enough spears, you can control the narrative, and that's exactly what they believed in here. Beasty and coRe, the army masses are looking decent, and those mangonels are still alive. The backdoor horsemen are absolutely cranking here too. We'll see if these mangonels can get another juicy shot, but Gento has his eyes set on them. He clicks away for a second.
How are they still alive?
Not for much longer.
Or it's gonna did another shot. Oh my god. These are the most valuable mangonels I've seen for a while. Such a good job, honestly, with that one. Jiggles now is trying his best. These cataphracts are going in and diving, but I called it.
And we have it decided, ladies and gents. It looks like Beasty and coRe do in fact take down Gento and Jiggly in a not convincing 2-1. Honestly, I feel like the fact that they could outsmart them in a previous one feels like there's a lot of potential here for upsets. So what we're going to do pretty soon is we are going to try to get a little bit of insight on the next team to try and see what is going on between them. So the next teams we're going to be seeing is Beasty and Gento versus coRe and Jiggly.